So here we are. It took long enough, but we finally have another RPG Maker review. And this one is for an RPG Maker 2003 game, Theia the Crimson Eclipse. This game is a fundamental masterclass in storytelling and combat design, and remains one of my favourite games ever, period. This video will aim to explain why, going from Chapter 2 all the way up to Chapter 6. There will be minimal spoilers for the story here, but I will say up and down throughout this entire video that I highly recommend playing this game yourself. So I will not be going anywhere near in-depth as I would normally, and just do a very brief overview. I'm also going to start with the best aspect of this game in my opinion, the party members. Seth is the primary protagonist and the character you'll spend the most time following. Every character has a few in-battle moves, a super move and a passive that will make traveling through the overworld much easier. So I will be talking about the passive skills they have for overworld or in-battle benefits in here. Seth's is the ability to jump to faraway areas for chests and collectibles. It is very seldomly needed outside of the first major area that introduces the mechanic, and that is an optional one after you beat it the first time. You will never need jump to complete a location, you will need it to get extra collectibles. In battle, he's easily the most basic party member of the lot. He's got really solid DPS, a self-heal skill, and options to hit golems and beasts for much more damage than any other type. He's one of my favourite characters, mostly because of his plot relevance, of course, but his reactions to the situations that he's in are very real and emotional and not trying too hard to do something. Rudra is an interesting dichotomic character. It's not because of what he does, it's what he doesn't that makes him so interesting. He's a character of many contrasts. Seth willingly leaves his life in the army behind to go on the run as a vagrant. Rudra is forced into that lifestyle after his tribe is slaughtered and he's the sole survivor. It's very much a systems of Rudra is the odd one out. And even in the party so far, he's one of a very rare race called the Varzans. There is another Varzan that'll show up later, but he's very different from Rudra. Rudra clings to an old idealistic lifestyle that he is trying to actively move past by joining Seth on his adventure. It's such a nice character to see that an old wise shaman is actively trying to learn the ways of the future to keep up with the times. When other party members may be a bit lax and lackadaisy, Rudra is a stoic and firm presence that tries to keep the group on track. He's a strong soldier and the secondary protagonist of the game, as he's the first character to go from guest to permanent character, meaning he's fully customizable. He has a lot of very cool moments, one of which I will talk about later, and his passive ability lets him intimidate enemy movement patterns in the overworld to slow them down, making navigating around them if you want to miss a fight much, much easier. His kit focuses on self-buffing into a powerhouse and sacrificing his HP pool to keep his teammates alive. He has no direct damage in his kit itself other than his basic attack, but he doesn't need to use his skills. I love Rudra nearly as much as I love Seth. He's such a great character as a show of contrasts between the rest of the group.
Allison is a very different character than everyone else. Her presence in the story mostly fills a comedic role, and in sharp contrast to Seth and Rudra, who maintain a very stoic demeanour when the action begins, but let their real personalities shine through during quiet moments, Allison remains as aloof and chipper as she always is out of battle, in battle. And it's a great breakup in the character dynamics. She's such a strong presence in every scene she's in, and her kit supplements that presence. Her passive starts with her super move bar partially filled, and her kit focuses on special attacks and boosting the strength of lightning attacks, which Seth and Horus both have as their primary damage dealings and skills. I like Allison, but not nearly as much as Seth or Rudra. I would probably put her as like my 4th or 5th favourite, but you'll see my favourite when he pops up.
Channeling his inner Chrono Trigger best boy Frog, Horus is the stern mentor figure for Seth, wields a sword with deft confidence, and strikes fear into the hearts of his enemies. He's deceptively light-hearted, and much happier talking to Seth and the others over dinner than he is fighting evil. His presence was well built up in the story, and kind of sets itself up for him to have a really nice arc of learning to let Seth be a stronger figure than he ever could be, and it's really nice. His passive heightens his critical hit rate, and his kit is an enhanced version of Seth's, having some of the same skills. This showcases how Horus trains Seth in his combat skills, but still has the edge over Seth in one-on-one combat. It's a really, really nice attention to detail, and I'm super excited to see more of him again. Now, I don't say this often, as someone who finds the idea of characters like Nyan, rich, smart idiots who stumble onto success at every turn, annoying. Nyan is super cool, my favourite character of the lot by absolute far, and he's the dedicated healer of the party, believe it or not, and he does a damn good job of it. His passive ability gives him immunity to a few status conditions, meaning he won't be impacted nearly as much as the others, and he has a dedicated revive skill on his kit, meaning he helps simplify a lot of the fights with him in it as long as he remains standing. He's also married, and has a wife, who is expecting a child. That is very important. So Fett is a bit of an odd character in amongst all of the others. Using an incredibly rare rifle powered by Atlas energy as a weapon, Fett is a vanguard with a cold demeanor and a notch on her belt, one of the best DPSs in the party. Her passive makes her both perfectly accurate and unable to be given this game's version of blind, so she's a consistent source of damage that can keep the pressure on during battles. The problem is she's kind of a nothing burger of a character, at least up till chapter 6. Every other character that you get to control has something going for them. Whether that be fun character or fun combat, they've got something. So Fett kind of muddles into the background, having neither a fun character or an all very engaging kit. You just spam one attack until you can use your super. It's really not that complex. And lastly, for the now, another Varzan, like Rudra. Varnell is a brutally strong DPS option with a surprisingly deceptive tanking ability. Courtesy of his passive, which increases the health recovery from the guard command, he's really good at keeping himself alive and keeping the heat on him. He's also a really fun character and is a fun dichotomy breakdown between Rudra and Varnell, as the two of them walk very similar lives, but have ended up that in very different situations. Rudra being a Varzan shaman, Varnell being essentially an attack dog. It's so interesting to see the duality of the two of them, and it's just really, really fun. And that is all the party members I've controlled thus far. So, from here I can start to talk about the location, design, and story. I'm bundling these two aspects together as they go super hand in hand. I'll cover the story and elaborate on the locational design as needed. The story picks up after Seth and Rudra have been found by Valiant, as you've seen throughout that whole introductory section. And if you want more info about all that, please see the RPG Maker mini-review episode with Theia in it. I'll start from here. Seth and Rudra arrive back at the castle, and it is stunning. Both the capital city and the castle are beautiful to look at, and its wonderful interior designs show off this game's best strength in its location design. After a short time exploring, Seth and Rudra arrive at the feet of the vassal, where the reason Seth has been tracked down is made clear. Seth is being hired as a contractor to go collect research data on a mysterious new energy source, and Rudra requests to join as Seth's protection and bodyguard. So with the plan set, the duo quickly head to the library, where they find the vassal's anti-magic division, Shylock, Macbeth, and Juliet. Yes, there's Shakespeare references, and no, I don't know why Shylock speaks with a thick German accent. It's never really mentioned outside of it. After a short discussion, the duo collect information about a book with pages torn out, and the person who tore them out was Horace Kane, Seth's mentor and old comrade. From here, the duo head to bed for the night, before being ambushed in the night by a group known as the Scarlet Worms. After the duo fight the worms off, they move in the morning, heading to meet with Marine Commander Gallant Vertigris, who's set to accompany the duo across the sea to meet with the elusive Dr. Risson and collect this new data research on a new energy source.
As the duo arrive in the port city of Ismail, they cannot find the commander, but do find his daughter Allison. Gallant and Allison are a member of a long-lived race such as the Exil, and as such tend to take life much less seriously. Gallant's first move upon entering the story is to demand Seth face him in a drinking contest, with Seth trouncing him handedly. Chaos then breaks out as Seth, Rudra, and now Allison head outside to fight off a sea monster in the dock city. The trio fight valiantly, but flag when the beast refuses to surrender, only for Horace Kane to leap in and save the day, finishing the beast off. Horace is bewildered to learn that the vassal has sent Seth to Dr. Risson, as he has been sent from Emperor Levizoa to report the information from Dr. Risson himself. The two former comrades agree to cooperate together in order to achieve a common goal, and the group set out by boat to a neighbouring land. The boat is also wonderful to look at. With the visuals of it beautiful, the vertical perspective of the boat is just wonderful, and the lighting is amazing. We'll be back to the boat later. After arriving at the beautiful coastal city, the group splits up. Seth and Horace speak with Shylock about plot-relevant info, while Rudra and Allison head to a cabin with Macbeth and Juliet to search for treasure. This is the introduction to my favourite mechanic from Theia, the party fragmenting. Seth and Rudra will split up often, bringing guest party members with them. So just know that these two perspectives seldom unite in the early game while it gets going. After reuniting, it's off to Risson Labs, where Dr. Nyon Risson throws the group into a dungeon because his manor has been under siege by the Scarlet Worms. After explaining the situation, Nyon cooperates in helping the group escape out to receive the info, only for the Scarlet Worms to blast a hole into the side of the manor and run off. Holy shit. The party splits again. Seth, Allison, and Nyon head back to the Vassal to get a squad sent to the small town of Rowley to isolate an energy source crystal that can solve the energy crisis, while Rudra and Horace pursue the Scarlet Worms and then report back to the Emperor. Rudra and Horace find the worms escaping in a goddamn tank, and so hijack motorbikes to pursue. And so begins the coolest fucking sequence this game has, where spiritual shaman man Rudra is driving a modern 2000s motorbike after a metal slug tank, eventually while legendary super soldier Horace Kane reflects bullets with his sword. Eventually the duo are forced to retreat due to their motorcycles' fuel caps, and recoup with the Emperor to get a strike team to go help Seth and Rowley. This team turns out to be Commander Sofet and Captain Varnell, along with an engineer team getting a plane known as the Flying Wing back in the air. Horace remains behind due to health issues, however, leaving the remaining three to head out to help Rowley, only for the plane to be taken out by fucking birds, forcing the two Varzans and Sofet to fight their way out. Meanwhile, Seth, Allison, and Nyon catch a boat back across the sea, allowing them time to de-stress, only for the Scarlet fucking Worms to attack again. After fighting off the worms, the trio make dock and return to the castle, and Seth breaks rank and directly disobeys orders, heading to Rowley to help find the energy source. Now again, there's a lot I've left out because this is a game you need to experience for yourself, but I will go no deeper than below surface. Risson Labs is such a morose building full of a life left behind. Its interior screams this is an old company who's lost everything it's had and completely fell apart, and it feels like just a husk, an abandoned castle with only its keeper left remaining. And it contrasts with the lively farm towns of Rowley, which is probably the most alive major city this game has that doesn't feel dark and miserable. Speaking of, the royal capital is just a fucking slum, with most of its citizens fighting dirty just to eat more food. And it looks grimy and grungy in all the right ways, a city that's lost all hope entirely. This game's combat has a nice even flow between keeping on the offensive and keeping your team alive. Every time you use an attack or a skill, the bar on the right of the screen will fill up, and when you guard or use an item, it'll go down. Having the bar as full as possible gives you bonus rewards at the battle's end. Every character also charges their super move differently, either that be attacking, using skills, or guarding. Some have one, some have two, but you can view these options from the character status screen in the menu. Speaking of the menu, you can upgrade skills and weapons here, if your character is a permanent. As it stands, only Seth and Rudra are fully customizable, and Alice, Horace, Nyon, Sofet, and Varnell are guests. You can change their equipment, but not their weapons or armor until they become permanent members. This game's got a perfect symphony in its combat. It's not too easy, it's not too hard, it's really nice, all things considered, and I would argue that a lot could be learnt from this game with how it takes and handles its combat. I would still recommend this game as a masterclass of how to do combat right.
Alright, let's get to the main part of the video. Ranking the bugger. The game's story is a genuine, and I say this with complete seriousness, amazing game that stands on par with, if not better than, modern AAA games. And this game is 10 years old and translated into English from Italian. It's a testament to the story and translation that it flows smoothly and remains to make perfect sense after the jump from Italian to English. I won't go into any further details because this is a game you need to experience firsthand. Me telling you any more than I have already would ruin several key plot points for you. 5 out of 5. Go play the fucking game. The characters will also get a perfect 5. I could throw a dart at a dartboard and have it decide which character I go on a rant about, so I won't. But the main and guest parties are both beautifully written and have amazingly unique dynamics with each other, and furthering their bonds in the party talk options will boost their stats for combat sequences. Everything keeps together so wonderfully, and it's just a masterpiece. You can even see in the background footage now, the battle animations are amazing and go beyond anything you could have hoped for on the console version. I mean, yeah, characters with their animations. Combat I'll give a 4. It's great, to get me wrong, as I just mentioned, the animations are amazing for both character animations and the skill animations. It's great, but there are a few small things that bring the score down for me. The overmastery bar reduces far too quickly if you're not constantly on the attack, which I know is probably intentional, but it means that a lot of the optional fights are balance scaled around the latest possible point you could feasibly fight it, as the overmastery bar essentially allows you to grind up so much quicker. Which means you will be running around without a care in the world before getting mugged off by a hunt monster. Not enough to knock it any lower than a 4, but it's not a perfect score either. The exploration gets a 4.5 for me. It's wonderful, but it's just missing that oomph to get it to 5. Risen Labs, the capital city, and Rolly, as mentioned before, are amazing treats on the eyes. But there's just something missing to get the full 5, which may show up later. And enjoyability. 5. Go play the fucking game. Immediately. It's a masterpiece of game design that could be feasibly passed off as a AAA studio darling with next to no issues whatsoever. Go play the game. It's free. Go out and swing your sword, studio darling. So, we're done with another RPG Maker review. And the next one will be sticking with the PC version and taking a bit of a closer look at Omnitophilia, which, I'm excited for. But before the review of Omnitophilia, there are a few other videos I have planned. Firstly, as a late Halloween celebration, next week a video on my first few hours of gameplay on Silent Hill 2 will be coming out, which terrifies me. I love the game, I hate the game. Secondly, there'll be another video on Guts and Black Powder now that it's had its big London update. I have more to talk about it. And finally, of course, another DBD video with clip footage from between Haunted by Daylight 2025 and November's 2v8. Thank you and good night, sir. Have a good rest of your day, night, whatever it is for you, and I will see you in the next video.